Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Kenny Britt was probably one of the younger players to come out in the draft last year, coming out of Rutgers. He was about 20 years old, so this was a guy that had a lot of maturing to do. As we were even into preseason, there were signs that showed that he probably wasn't ready to be a producer right away. But that didn't prove to be the case, as in week 1 he had some good production against the Steelers. And overall for the year he had some decent success. He had over 700 yards receiving, and he did show flashes of, being the kind of guy that this team wanted him to be. He did some good things in the blocking. Obviously he had that really nice touchdown to beat the Arizona Cardinals on the last second play when Vince Young found him in the back of the end zone. That was a really nice play. Good confidence builder for Kenny. We like what he can do. He's got great ability, had a nice yard per catch average last year. I know Coach Fisher really thinks the world of him. He may not say that all the time, but he does really like this kid a lot. That's why he took him as a first-round pick, something he really doesn't like to do with wide receiver. But so far this offseason, he has shown his immaturity. He has shown his young age. There's some decision, not that he's necessarily been in trouble, but there's been some decision-making that I guess I've heard that he's made with maybe some decisions with his skeptical friends that he's given a lot of money to bail them out of trouble. And that was, maybe not the smartest thing you want to do. And then again, he comes in a little out of shape in OTAs, and Jeff Fisher has to ride him for a while, but he bounced back out of that, and he's starting to look better as we're heading deeper into June. So those are good things. I think he's just one of those kids who's got a lot of talent. He's very immature, and it's just going to be kind of a growing process for him. I'm not sure if he's going to start for the team right away, but he definitely will be a starter on this team as long as he's got his head on straight early in this season, I would imagine, because he's by far better talented than Nate Washington or Justin Gage. So look for Britt as a guy that it's going to depend on how he's doing as we get closer to your drafts, how he's progressing, how he's getting it done. I would imagine he's still worth a flare shot for your team this year in maybe the later rounds. If he's coming on real strong and already won a starting job, then maybe you get him a couple rounds earlier than that. Really, right now, he's not a guy you're going to want, obviously, in any starting lineup. So you're just going to use him as depth. You're going to use him maybe for bye week fill-in and things like that until we start seeing more from him. Again, he is only 21 years old, so he's still young. This isn't necessarily a passing juggernaut team, so he's not in a great structure like maybe a Hakeem Nicks is. So these are the things that are working against Britt as he's going into his second season in the NFL.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.